Welcome to Ephatha. Jesus said, "Be opened." The goal of reading scripture is not merely information, but transformation. As St. Paul writes in 2 Timothy 3:16, "All scripture is inspired by God and is profitable for teaching, for reproof, for correction, and for training in righteousness." Every word carries divine breath. Every verse invites heaven to speak directly to us. On this note, let's look in depth at Mark chapter 7. True worship versus empty tradition. In Mark 7, the Pharisees confront Jesus. Why do his disciples eat without ceremonial hand washing? This ritual came from Exodus 30:17-21, meant for priests before sacrifices, is not meant to be burden for all. Jesus challenges them in 3 ways. First, he exposes hypocrisy. Quoting Isaiah 2:9-13, "This people honors me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me." Worship must flow from the heart, not from outward show. Psalmist reminds us, "A broken and contrite heart, O God, you will not despise." He clarifies priorities. They neglect parents while claiming devotion as Korban. Jesus reminds us love and obedience to God's commandments surpass ritual. Third, he reveals the source of sin. It comes from the heart: pride, envy, greed, impurity, not from touching the unclean. Proverbs says, "Keep vigilant over your heart, for from it flow the springs of life." True holiness is heart deep. Faith in the Gentiles. Next, Jesus meets a Syrophoenician woman. Her daughter is afflicted and her faith is persistent. He tests her. "It is not right to take the food of the children and throw it to the dogs." She humbly replies, "Yes, Lord. Yet even the dogs under the table eat the children's scraps." Her faith persists, even under apparent humiliation. Hebrews 11:6 reminds us, "Without faith it is impossible to please God." Here, Jesus demonstrates the gospel and the grace of the Eucharist are for all, Jew and Gentile alike. True faith does not rely on status or privilege, only trust and surrender. Healing and spiritual opening. In Decapolis, Jesus heals a deaf and mute man. He takes him aside, away from the crowd. He touches his ears, touches his tongue, looks to heaven, sighs, and speaks one word: Ephatha. Be opened. This deeply symbolic, untouching ears, openness to hear God, loosening the tongue, freedom to praise, sighing. Spirit intercedes when words fail. Ephatha, hearts and lives transformed. Notice the fruit of mission. The Gerasenes demoniac, healed earlier, had become a witness in Decapolis. God works through transformed lives to prepare hearts for the gospel. Key takeaways. Mark 7 teaches us. 1. True worship comes from the heart. 2. Faith transcends birthright, ethnicity, or status. 3. Persistent, humble faith moves God. 4. Miracles are invitations, not spectacles. Every encounter with Jesus, every word of Scripture, is an opportunity for transformation. When Jesus says Ephatha, he still speaks to you today. Open your ears to his word, your tongue to praise, your heart to his love. Listen carefully. He whispers, "Be opened."